Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. It's another classic American holiday, which means, of course, the Marxists among us are causing strife. Here's MSNBC's Joy Reid with her Happy Thanksgiving message.
Thanksgiving, the day we gather with friends and family to enjoy turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, and pumpkin pie. We throw on the game, catch up on our lives, and then discuss, or quite possibly argue, about religion and politics. For millions of Americans, it's a day of cherished traditions. And as Americans, we certainly value those traditions.
You hate American traditions. What are you talking about? From Columbus Day and 4th of July to Halloween and even Mother's Day, I don't think a single holiday goes by anymore without the communists complaining about white people or how they're not gay enough.
But it's also important to unpack the myth of Thanksgiving.
You mean how it's celebrating genocide against the Native Americans?
It is a holiday riddled with historical inaccuracies.
Coming from the liberal media, yes.
Built on this myth that the indigenous welcomed their colonizers with open arms and ears of corn.
Colonizers? You mean saviors?
A simplistic fairy tale interpretation of a 1621 encounter between indigenous tribes and English settlers that erases the genocide that followed. It's the truth Republicans want banned from our textbooks.
No, we just want drag queens banned from elementary schools.
Because here's the secret they want so desperately to keep. We are a country founded on violence.
Well, I didn't know that they stopped teaching about the Revolutionary War back in school and how we declared independence from England to start this great country. Things are a little more mild over at CNN, however. They're reporting that Thanksgiving is a great time to celebrate Ethiopian culture.
It's also an opportunity to celebrate your culture. One of the most beautiful things with America is that we are so multicultural, right? So on my Thanksgiving table tomorrow, yes, there will be turkey. There will also be some wonderful dorawat from Ethiopia, and there will also be some gravlax there will also be some gravlax from Sweden, right? There's an opportunity to really celebrate your culture.
Yeah, no, and to share food traditions and have other people bring things to the table that's different. I mean, I actually feel we here in Washington, D.C., we have such a rich culture of Ethiopian food because there are so many people. So that's not something that I was ever exposed to as a child, but something that I eat regularly now.
That's amazing. I didn't know that they actually had food in Ethiopia. Could you imagine bringing bratwurst to a Cinco de Mayo party and then talking about how great your German heritage is? Or going to a holiday celebration in Japan and then complaining that there aren't any hamburgers to eat because, well, that's your culture. Can Americans enjoy any of our cultural traditions anymore without somebody from a foreign country complaining about it and trying to make it about them? World-renowned American historian Nick Cannon, who I believe is up to 10 or is it 11 illegitimate children now, I lost count, has a different take on Thanksgiving.
Really, that feast was ultimately a celebration for a massacre of over 700 Native Americans. And then once Abraham Lincoln, actually years later, then sanctioned it a holiday and kind of tried to clean it up a little bit. But the actual, feast that the pilgrims were having during that time wasn't a celebration of friendliness or giving at all. It was really like, hey, they finally got some food because they had been starving.
That's right.
And they killed the godless Indians, which they called it. So I was
that is not what happened at all. That might even be too crazy of a take for MSNBC. And this is a story that seems to get recycled now every year by the anti-white idiots. This from BET. Why this scene in a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving could be racist. The classic 1973 Peanut special has stirred up a bit of controversy in recent years. The scene in question is this one, which depicts the group having Thanksgiving dinner, but it appears to be segregated because the black character is sitting all by himself on one side of the table. Some have critiqued this scene, BET reports, considering it problematic, even arguing that it could be racist, since Franklin is separated from the rest of the characters who are white. Well, yeah, I guess some people have critiqued the scene's lunatics. And the supposed Native American who Marlon Brando asked to accept his Oscar on his behalf back in the early 1970s for his role in The Godfather, well, she passed away not long ago, and, well, her sisters are now admitting that she was an ethnic fraud because she was Mexican.
He very regretfully cannot accept this very generous award. And the reasons for this being are the treatment of American Indians today by the film industry Excuse me.
Who could imagine somebody pretending to be a completely different race? Something so absurd would never happen in our modern society, though, however, right? Oh, wait, what's this?
Identify as black.
But interestingly enough, she wasn't the only one. You may have seen this crying Indian meme. It's actually from an old commercial back in the 1970s, which was actually a good commercial, denouncing pollution and littering. And it turns out that the actor in this commercial, Iron Eyes Cody, wasn't a Native American, but he not only pretended to be one in the commercial, he also pretended to be one in real life. It turns out that he was Italian and a complete fraud. So Rachel Dolezal, contrary to popular belief, is not the first transracial person in America. But if you want to bring tears to the eyes of your liberal relatives, I would recommend ordering a Trump Claus sweatshirt from my online store at markdice.com and wearing that for Christmas dinner this year. Like all of my designs, it's available in a t-shirt, long sleeve, and a hoodie, and a whole bunch of different colors as well. And if you use the promo code TURKEY at the checkout this weekend, you can save 15% off of anything. Like my new Ultra MAGA shirt, an F Joe Biden shirt, an Arrest Dr. Fauci shirt, or any of my awesome designs. So head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below. Enter the promo code TURKEY at the checkout to save 15% this weekend, and check them out.